Here's the RGB port, and that's the VGA. So let's see what 10 years in storage do. Ooh, memory. .32 meg, I think. And then that's the mediator manual. Oh, what else have we got? Manual. All the manuals. Transwriter. Oh, more CDs. Fix paint. Oh, faithful. Oh, there's something else I needed. Let's see what that does. And we have the original Workbench 1.3 discs in these lovely plastic folders. The very first. That. More manuals. Turbo prints. Introduction to the Amiga 500. A 520 video adapter. Oh, it's all in here. My goodness. I'm going to need this and this. I'm going to want these. Not forgetting that. And what else do I require? I think that's just it for now. I've got an A1200. I've got speakers. I've got a scan doubler and head cleaner, and a lovely bank monitor. Let's go. Here we have the glorious bank monitor. They still do them in 4x3s, not just widescreen formats. This should be able to give me a good image for my Amiga. Okay, let's start to get this bagged. I have to do this, I think. An A500 one. Which is not necessarily a bad thing, because an A500 power pack can give you more power, or a more stable power, than the 1200 one from memory. So that's a big chunky unit, big one. And we've got power lead to go into the back of the computer, and a nice 3-prong AC. Yep, it's plugged in. Let's put some power on and we'll see what happens. Oh, how about that? It's already on allegedly, so at least it hasn't exploded into flames. Start to get the pulleys off of the computer itself. Well, we've got some manuals underneath, that's good. Oh, behold this beauty. There she is. Very well packaged, very well done. Not like my X600, which I had to tear the box apart to get into. Oh, I can see plastic. Oh, the grand reveal. Where is she? Oh, slight yellowing of keys in there. Behold. Ah, yes. Of course, the eternal Amiga. A bit yellowing. And some lovely sounds on that keyboard. So, PCMCIA. Let's flip it over. And there we've got both joystick ports / mouse ports, floppy port, serial port, parallel port, audio out, left and right. There's the RGB video, composite modulator and power. Right, I wonder if there's anything in this. Yeah, I'm going to need a screwdriver for that. There seems to be some odd mank on the, not on these two, but on the feet. You can see it's been opened, so it'll be interesting to see exactly what I find. Okay, so I've just put a flathead screwdriver in there. Ah, it's bare. Okay, that's fair enough. We've got the expansion port in there, but never mind. It was sold as a basic 1200, so click. Didn't really expect to find anything. Okay, let's get this plugged in. Okay, so power is in, scan doubler's in. You can actually see how deep the scan doubler is when it's in there, so it does stick out a fair bit. Let's go down this end. There she is. So it's quite a large unit. I'm sure we can probably get smaller ones these days, but let's see if it actually works, shall we? Okay, so the bank is on. Oh dear, here we go. Hello. Not sure if you can hear this. Now I'm getting an interesting flash whenever that ticks. Hello. That doesn't look too good, does it? I will have to review this, I think. Right, I have just discovered that this has got a bit of a mashed spacebar, so I'm not exactly sure how that's going to affect things. Okay. Right, now this one may have issues, so I'm going to pack it back up and get something else plugged in. Okay, before I start messing around with other ones, let's have a look to make sure what this is like inside. So I've just popped things off the back. There we go. Right, well, got a bit of a dirty RF shield in there. Let's flip the keyboard back as well. It comes out of there. Let's forget how heavy the actual keyboard bit is. So, there's metal back on it. Okay, so nothing looks out of the ordinary from first look. Got the ROMs in there, and a blank ID header over here. Okay, let's flip this thing up. Okay, we're in. So, first impressions, everything seems to be as is. I can't see any swollen caps or anything. That's the 020 processor. And then we've got big square custom chips over here. There we go. Channel Z. It's one of the shorter motherboards with the mouse port on a ribbon. So what rev have we got? Oh, it's a 1D4. Okay, that's not too shabby. I think it's probably one of the more common ones. There's the keyboard ribbon. Now this is looking fine in here, so now I'm wondering, is it that scan doubler? So I'll have to try that with another machine just to make sure. Let's close her up. Right, since that 1200 gave some odd artifacting on the screen, and it looks fine inside as well, I'm going to give this A600 a go, which I know from last plug-in worked fine. Again, I've got the scan doubler, so we'll plug that in, and then if we get the similar artifacts coming through from the disk drive and subsequent mess on the screen, we'll know at least that it's the scan doubler and not that 1200. So let's give it a go, let's get it out of here. Okay, so we've got the string that was holding it together. I'm not sure if you can see, but this box is an absolute mess. This is how it actually arrived to me, covered in packing tape, hence why it's all ripped up as well, so not particularly happy with that. Anyway, here we go. Got one of these. I've got a few upstairs. So yeah, a few bits and pieces in here, but really, I don't really care about that. I just want the A600 out. So, here she is. I never had an A600 myself. I was always a 500 and then a 1200 man, so at least it's a compact little thing, isn't it? I mean, I can hold that with one hand. There we go. Similar ports to what was on the 1200 earlier, but they moved the mouse and keyboard around the side because there's no space on the back. But as you can see, this is a nice, clean, non-yellowing machine. So let's plug it in. Right, so this just comes with the standard 600 power supply. Let's give it a go. Ooh, noises. Power light. Now the screen is not jumping up and down, which is a massive plus for me, but it also makes me a bit worried about that 1200. What exactly is going on with it? This is the same flicker fixer. I haven't swapped anything. You should be able to see on the screen that there's a bit of banding, vertical lines coming down. Otherwise, it looks okay. I do have an RGB to VGA converter on its way, so hopefully plugging that in may allow a less artifacty, if that's a word, image to be displayed. But you know, it's good to see. Now I've just got to find a disc and put it in. I don't have a mouse to plug in with this 600. I think there may be one in another one of the Amiga boxes, but let's give a game a go. Right, I found a joystick. It's a Spectra Video that doesn't seem to have any kind of micro switching at all in it, and squeaks hideously. Also, it was wrapped up in sellotape and is now the stickiest item in the world. Now I've got a nice original disc for the Chaos engine that came with the machine. I'm going to bung that in and see what happens. Let's give it a go. Oh well, of course, it's cracked. Now, is that actually going to go past it? Because I don't have a mouse plugged in. Well, it's good to see a screen at least. squeaking is the joystick. Well, Bob Duncan, how do I get out of this? Yeah, big help key. When has that ever actually helped anyone? I don't know. Oh yeah, my caps lock light comes on. That's good. Right, I give up. I'm going to choose a different disc, which hopefully won't have a crack screen on it that I can't get past. Now, what was I saying about crack screens? This is Deliverance. Again, another copy floppy, so guaranteed, isn't it? It's guaranteed. Yeah, that's a lovely screen. Nice Amigas. Now, I haven't got any speakers plugged in here because I can't find the adapter. There we go. So, a big welcome to our new member, Shaggy. Welcome, Shaggy. And again, oh, interestingly, the caps lock doesn't actually come on now. I'm going to have to find one of my own discs, aren't I? Now we have, I believe we overcopied Super Street Fighter 2, one Amiga cover disc with Super Foul Eggs, which I'm struggling to remember what it was, so I don't even know if it's AGA, so let's see if the 600 actually reads that. It's just nice to hear the disk drive going, frankly. Now, I'm not actually clicking or pressing anything, so I'm wondering if it thinks I'm clicking or pressing something. It could be this incredibly naff joystick. I've put Auto Fighter off. Oh, here we go. Ah, right, okay. Now I remember this game. Oh dear. Yeah, I'm kind of playing it looking over the shoulder of the camera here, so I can't really see what I'm doing, but you get the impression. It's one of these games, and the 600 seems to be working, so that's a plus. And hopefully I can find the adapter for my my audio woes. Oh, there you go. This player 1 has lost basically because they're not plugged in. So yeah, that's good to see. Here we go. Okay, this is A1200 number 2, which also has its original condom on it. So we've got a standard 1200 power supply. It's like a SCART adapter for RGB. But really I just want to get this plugged in to see if it's just A1200 isn't messing about. Let's get her out there and see what's in there. Now I'm going to look into the trapdoor. You can already see there's some markings here, so I think that's been opened. Yes! That's what I wanted to find. Let's focus on this beauty. So that's a Blizzard 1234, 30/4. You can just see under there is the additional FPU that you can plug in. I can't remember how much memory I had on this. I think it's 16 meg, but yeah, I want to plug this in. No, she's not happy. Yeah. This is even worse than the other 1200. This one will have to be opened up, and we're going to have a look at it another time, I think. Right, 1200 number 3. Yes, I've 3 box ones in the loft. Again, it's got the old bag. This is a tangle of cables. We have, that's an A600 power supply in there, I believe. And there's a modulator. Oh, how nice. A520. So we'll just pop that back in there. I want to see if this 1200 works and if it gives similar effects to the other two. So it's just going to be a quick plug-in. This one's a little yellow. So it's not as beautiful as the other ones I've seen, but well, let's see if she's functional at least. Monitor on. Okay. Now that's a very similar screen to what I've just seen. Interesting. So, brief pause, but we got a screen. Should we see if it boots something? Let's find a disk to put in. Since we know this worked with a 600, let's hope it's AGA compatible. It should be. I believe I've played it on a 1200. So. This drive sounds good. Oh, it's written in Amos. Amos? I think I always used to say Amos, so I'll just stick with that for now. Super Foul Eggs, 1995. Now what this tells me is that this A1200 is probably okay, and I should be able to use the motherboard from this one, put it in the cleanest case I have, find the cleanest keyboard for it, and then use that. Here we go. Yeah, see, I'm starting to think that joystick with the A600 was just clicking through everything on this. Yeah, at least we know this one works. Again, I'm doing this over the screen, so sorry, looking over the back of the camera, so I'm not really sure what I'm doing here, but I'm on the right again. But it works. Huzzah! Now, if only I could find that audio lead of mine, and then at least we'd have some sound and I could see whether or not the audio works fine, whether Paul is still talking to me. Anyway, that's it. Thank you. And since we're here, I'm actually going to crack open the A1200 tower to see what the state is, because I haven't looked inside since way before we moved, which was years ago. So I'm actually a bit worried about what I might find. Wish me luck. Right, the power tower A1200. As you can see, it mounts the motherboard vertically, so you get everything in there. It's got some blanking plates at the back. The only thing that's plugged in there is a Voodoo 3 graphics card, I believe. But let's get this case off and see exactly what it shows us. How many spiders or corpses will we find in here? Oh! Yeah, it's a bit dusty. Right, let's turn it round and see what we find. Okay, in we go. So, there's the Voodoo 3. And that's plugged into a mediator PCI that you can just see through here. So that provides the PCI ports for it. I mean, it's incredibly dusty in here. I can't see anything too bad. What do I have plugged in here at the moment? Ah, yes. The ubiquitous Phase 5 Blizzard PowerPC 603E, which sits under that huge cooler. That's a 68040 on the other side. You can just see through there. Which, basically, because I've been told exactly how hot they get, I've whacked a fan and heatsink on there to help cool it down. I can't remember how much memory I had in there. I believe I had a 64 megabyte SIM and a 32, so what, 96 was it? 96 meg maybe. So it's all in there. I wish I could plug it in, but I don't have any kettle leads other than the one in the monitor. So either I switch the machine on or I switch the monitor on, but not both. So I can't actually decide whether or not, I can't find out whether or not it will work. But that's going to have to be for another day. As you can see, it's absolute cable city in there. But that's what I had to do with an A1200 back in the day, because it wasn't really designed to be turned into this. This dusty tangle of cables. Anyway, I'll leave it there, I think. Hopefully I'll have another video soon. Cheers.